Earlier this week, we introduced you to an artist who taps into her Brazilian heritage to create some of the most breathtaking landscapes on canvas. You can find her work at the Feminist Magic Market in Park Circle later this month. Well, here to share more on how this market got started, let's welcome its director, Ray Sumlin, and Julia Turner, co-owner of Itinerant Literate books. Great to have you ladies with us. You and I go way back, almost 10 years, when Itinerant Literate first came on the scene. And here you are today. So maybe you could take us a little bit through that journey from the little camper that you featured these unique books to where we are today.
Yes, we started the bookmobile in 2016, which is when we first met. And then, just 2 years later, in 2018, we opened the storefront. It felt like a lot longer than 2 years. But when we opened the storefront, one of the things that was important to us was having good programming to keep people coming in and having new ideas flow through. So we pretty soon after ran into Gabrielle from Just a Phase Boutique, and she used to do a lot of jewelry, like gem jewelry and witchy stuff. And so we thought it would be cool to do a market around that. So I think later that year we had our first market in the backyard. It was pretty small. I think it was like 5 vendors.
Oh, wow.
And it's always been some form of magic market, but it over time kind of grew into let's make it broader, turned it to feminist magic.
And why the feminist part of it?
Well, we're a women-owned business, and when we started it, we wanted to feature only women-owned businesses in the market as well.
And is that still true today?
It's primarily women-owned, but anyone can apply as long as it's a business that is handmade, local. We love to have them.
And it's blossomed since 2018. So now, how many vendors would you say you have?
Nearly 100. This next one, I think the number is at 94.
Ooh, my goodness. So you're getting very close to 100. That's incredible. And you've got the space for it, which is great. And of course, it brings foot traffic into Itinerant Literate. And what kind of books do you sell? What makes Itinerant Literate unique from the other booksellers?
We are a general bookstore, so we sell a little bit of everything. But because the space is so small, we have to, curate it a bit. And what our guiding principle usually is minority voices, underheard voices, and try to highlight those. I think the best compliment we get is when people come into the store and say they would never have found a book at a bigger, the book might be in a larger bookstore, but you wouldn't find it because it's not featured.
Swallowed up by everything else, right? Yeah. Well, let's talk about some of the items that are going to be featured at this season's market, and this is seasonal. So you've got how many markets?
4. It's quarterly. Yeah. So we have one for Women's History Month in March, and then we work with Park Circle Pride in June, and then we have one for the fall in September, one for the holidays in November.
Okay, great. Well, let's move from our left to the right here. So talk a little bit about some of the items that are going to be featured at this season's market.
Yeah. So just about everything on this table is handmade or hand done by an artist.
Incredible.
I know. These are some of our handmade pieces. So this is from Lil Tufts Co. She hand tufts rugs from small variations like this to large wall tapestries. This is from Mayflower Design. It's a handmade cork purse, and she has crossbodies, tote bags, what have you. She also will have plants. Oh, nice. Her whole thing is sustainability. This bag here is from Collage Kitsch, and it is an artist who works with vintage wallpaper, magazines, what have you, and she makes collage
very whimsical
art. Yes,
very
kitschy,
whimsical.
Very whimsical. Yes.
Yeah.
This right here is Anna Chen art, one of our favorite pieces by her. It's a Waffle House piece.
And who doesn't love Waffle House?
And this is specifically the one in Charleston.
Smothered, covered, and
and she works with watercolor art, and she kind of also does collage work with her watercolor pieces.
Unique. Let me just stop you right there, because the way in which the artists think is so unlike the rest of us. They figure out new and inventive ways of creating something that we end up loving and want to display in our home. So that is a unique approach to watercolor and cutting out pieces of paper and creating an image out of it. It's amazing.
What she does is magic, really.
I love this hat.
Yeah.
This is a cool hat. Or lid, as they call them, right?
Snapback.
Yeah.
So this is from Deluxe Special. Rebecca does a bunch of local Charleston neighborhood stuff, but it's also kind of coastal surf vibes. She does hats, t-shirts, what have you. This is just one of the many hats that she has.
And Charleston's made up of so many tribes.
Yeah.
we all like our tribe, you know. If you're the Peninsula tribe, you're one tribe, you know. So I think that's neat. You can identify yourself that way. And then let's move to this before we wrap up.
Absolutely.
This is cool.
Yeah, so this is a handmade crocheted octopus plushie. It is from Strings Into Things, and she literally just sits and hand makes this entire thing with all the little puffs. I think she also does the eyes herself too.
Does she really?
Yeah.
Well, you have to see the stuff in person so you can really appreciate the work that does go into it. And I do love the way you displayed everything. And this speaks to your professional background as well as a, what do you call it?
So I specialized in studies in visual merchandising, but it was retail marketing or fashion marketing. So it was the strategy of art was basically the
making
vibe
everything
of it.
look as beautiful as possible, as tasty as possible for people to want to come and buy it, which is great. It's a good skill to have. All right, so the Feminist Magic Market, this is happening Saturday, March 29th. Rain or shine?
No.
No,
So the
okay.
following day, the Sunday the 30th, would be our rain date if the weather's not looking too great.
Got it. Okay, and then is there a website where people can go for more information?
Yes, it's feministmagicchs.com.
And support your local artisans. You know, they create some really beautiful stuff, keepsakes that you can pass down through the generations. And thank you, ladies, for being the shepherds of all of this stuff. It's great to have you.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
We're back in 2 minutes.